I'm John Miglosh for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. I'm trying to speed up today. I'm not really trying to speed up today. I'm just trying to keep my head on straight. Okay, so what's going on in the world? Always want to know. Everybody's baking bread. That's the story for today. Baking bread. Looks nice. This is probably a rye loaf. I haven't tried rye much. I need to do that. But anyway, what the author says is bread dough is on the rise in homes across the West as quarantine home bakers exercise their cabin fever. Yeah, and about 4 years ago, I started baking no-knead bread. I encourage you just to Google that, no-knead bread, New York Times if you want, Jim LaHaye. And it's a simple recipe. Everybody says a 4-year-old could do it. Yes, a 4-year-old could do it, but you can also do it at 64. You can learn to bake bread. It's funny because only 1 month ago, everyone was on a gluten-free diet. Not me. Well, I was because I was on the carnivore diet, which really works. Now suddenly everyone is a baker. Plus, no one will be the wiser if you eat the whole loaf. Even in Italy and France, where bakeries are around every corner, the rush to bake bread at home is particularly unusual. I watched a bread video last night on a sailboat, and there was these black specks in the flour. So I wrote to the lady on the sailboat. I said, is that bugs? Because I think my mother used to not care and just bake the bugs in there. She had a flour container that the flour could have been years old, but it was basically metal. So you don't want to know this, do you? Anyway, this is the bread from yesterday. I think yesterday or Sunday I baked this. And I used to care, and I used to cut the loaf and do all that nice stuff. This is literally just scooped out of a pan and thunked onto some parchment paper and thrown into a cast iron Dutch oven. But hey, it's really good, and this was about as good a one as I've cooked in a while. Nice and high, beautiful, just really hard. It's so crunchy. It's like a cracker, and then hot on the inside. There's nothing like it. And even 2 days or 3 days later, because we don't have as many kids around, it's nice in the toaster because you can't burn it. I mean, you can put it in there 5 minutes, and it will just be crispy, and you slap some butter on it. That's what I had for breakfast. Okay, so an Australian company has come up with a new view. Hey, look at that! I'm watching the. Why am I watching that? I don't know. Let's go see if Periscope worked. I didn't test Periscope, so it's probably all botched up. But we'll just keep going. Yeah, there it is. Bread. Okay, so Periscope is up and running. Hey there, Periscope. I see you out there. Okay, so as workers enter or leave buildings, Thermi uses a thermal camera and advanced analytics to analyze skin temperature. Okay, and they were saying that, man, they could open the theme parks. I kind of believe that knowing that you have a temperature, since that's one of the main symptoms of the coronavirus, but knowing that you have a temperature is just a great thing. Just tell me I have a temperature and say, go home. It's great for workers. It's great for, I remember sailing in a regatta, all day and just feeling like awful. And, I went home, and this was, I was a kid, and they took my temperature, and sure enough, I was sick. It's like the number one way to know for sure you're sick that you can't just fake. Well, you can fake it, but so this company had they have a technology called Warnie that warns when this guy is supposed to stay outside of this zone. It identifies workers with AI, that I told you how this labeled data set. Where are the pedestrians? Where is the stoplight? Where is the forklift? Okay, you get a couple of million of those kind of pictures, and you get what's going on. And the computer can it doesn't know what's going on, but it knows these things should not be by these things, okay? And so if you're the forklift driver, then you get a warning telling you went too close after you analyze all the film of the warehouse. Okay. So they did the same thing. They retooled it so that they could take the temperature of people going by. It's not a phone app, although that would be a fun thing too. Okay, Tom Fishburne. Digital transformation is years away. I don't see our company having to change anytime soon. like that was a month ago, and here comes the COVID-19. Now, what is digital transformation? We started using remote computing in the 90s. 97, I believe it was, where our IT guy moved to Russia, and I've told you about that. Okay, so it's not new for us. And I placed my first online order by finding a company that sold cheesehead hats, and they didn't even have a computer on site. So if you're a retailer, get on eBay for heaven's sakes and start selling something. Get somewhere, sell something. There's no excuse not to. Okay? Sometimes it takes a crisis to turn people's minds around, but it's more than this, according to Tom, it's more than just being able to use Zoom. And I would recommend against Zoom because Zoom is at home over Zoom. Zoom is going to spy on you. Maybe not. It depends on what you're talking about. Or deliberately make stuff up. Have a few meetings where you just talk dumb, and your competitors will think you're just dumb. Here's one from 2 years ago. Are you ready to meet digital transformation? We can't see your slides. Do you need the download to download the video plugin? We're restricted to IE7. Okay, I tried to email the slides, but it bounced back. Our file limit is 1 megabyte. Dropbox or WeTransfer, blocked by our firewall. Google Docs, yeah, right. I'm not sure how to present to you. You can fax it. Can you fax it to us? And actually, I remember talking about this slide because there are ways. There was a way back with. I'm trying to remember. Anyway, there was a way to there, and there may still be if I still have the software. But there was an old Corel program that would generate HTML from your slides. And it would generate a little slideshow, and you could upload it to a website, just make a web page out of it. And I used it to present to utility companies across the country. And they said, you're the only one we can see the slides of. It was exactly this. So that is one thing, okay? So there's a lot of ways digital transformation, but the point I wanted to make was that you may want to rethink your business model, but you may also want to mail more catalogs. Right now, the catalogs, my mailbox is empty, my time is full, and I would like to buy some stuff and be entertained that way. And the catalogs that I work with are booming, just to let you know. ESPN asks their talent people to take a 15% pay cut, and I would say this is a great example of them not figuring it out. I've gone on ESPN many times just to see if anything was happening, and they aren't switching over to digital. Run Madden. I told you. ESPN. Get two legends, Brett Favre and Joe Montana or somebody, to play Madden football. We don't care how they do. It'll just keep the screen interesting. Every now and then cut away to them in their homes, and they can tell silly stories about what play they just called and why that is meaningful to them from history. Put something up there. You don't deserve 15% pay cut. You deserve 100% pay cut. You should all be fired. ESPN, one of the biggest sports franchises ever, can't figure out how to do digital transformation. Sad. Pathetic. It's pathetic. Okay. Here's a good article by Mike Farrell. Tips for marketing during the coronavirus. Don't automatically stop marketing. There's another tip for you, ESPN. The cost per click is going down. So a lot of my clients are saying, woohoo, man, we're getting lots of people to our website. Okay, do something with them. Maybe send them a postcard. Okay, pull back on products that have a lower inventory. Right, don't promote the stuff you don't have. No one can sell from an empty wagon, but you can raise the price. I think you probably could. Now, I called my grocery store, the owner of my grocery store, and I said, hey, if you want to sell hand sanitizer, just raise the price for the second one. And he said, you can't because of fair trade laws, which I think are communism. That I can't charge more because I have less of it and it's in demand. Basic capitalism. I would do it and then see if anybody complains. Anyway, it's fairer for everybody. So I don't know about fair trade laws. I don't know if you'd come under scrutiny because you're all over the place and all over the country. But that would be my idea. As consumers quarantine at home, you might want to look at hourly trends to find temporary day part adjustments, like 10 o'clock in the morning, when everybody's in meetings in business. But now they're not having so many meetings. They still are on Zoom, but they could still shop. I heard there was a setting on Zoom. If you had the paid version, you could see if your employees were what else they had open. I think that's a good one. Zoom got in trouble for that. That's the kind of privacy violations that people are complaining about. Okay. Higher household income segments may be unchanged in their spending habits. If you can market by income, which some of my clients can, might want to try it, or at least look at some back-end analysis fast, see what you get. Okay? Don't go completely dark. Understand the benefit of continued marketing and promotion. Like Mark Ritson said, eventually people are going to go back to the basics. What do I mean basics? Making bread. Looking at catalogs. Digital transformation may mean mailing more. Okay? You may discover a new shopping audience you had not even thought of before. All of that. I saw that one retailer on my talk yesterday was testing stuff and finding things they'd never seen before. And here's a good one, although it's wrong. If your catalog isn't converting, let's take out the isn't. Encourage shoppers to create a wish list. I thought this was a good idea on your site that they can use for future engagement. I'm surprised nobody's saying that I can see, we may run out. Buy today. We may run out. Limited time offer. Stocks are limited. That's the first thing I would say, and I don't see that in this 20 list. Okay? We're seeing exposure open up for many retailers on Google since Amazon isn't doing any ads over there. True, right? Okay? And Amazon just opened up some stuff. They said today that they were going to hire 75,000 more people on top of the 100,000 that they already said they were going to hire. So I didn't buy Amazon stock, and I don't regret it because I think they're like the great Satan of the internet. But along with Microsoft, Google, and probably Facebook. But along with that, it's a heck of a company, and I really admire Jeff Bezos for driving across the country and dreaming it up and basically getting the booksellers to turn the computer toward the consumer and getting them to do it, which was really something. It was very cagey. That's enough for today. Have a great day. I'm John Miglosh. Like and share. Your friends will think you're smart. Here we'll go. We'll line that up so it'll be the closing screen. Have a great day. Bye-bye.